Every morning before your feet even touch the ground, you are given a choice. You can either rise with intention, embracing the day ahead as an opportunity, or you can simply exist, moving through the motions without direction. But here's the truth. Each new day is not just another routine event. It is a divine invitation. It is a fresh canvas, waiting for you to paint something meaningful. Purpose is not something we stumble upon. It is something we choose. The moment you open your eyes, you are faced with a decision. Will you live today with intention, or will you let it slip away? That choice begins with your mindset. Most people wake up and immediately reach for their phone, scrolling through social media, checking emails, or diving into the noise of the world before they even acknowledge the gift of a new day. But purpose requires focus. It requires a shift in how we begin. Before the world demands your attention, before the distractions creep in, take a moment, breathe, ground yourself in gratitude. Acknowledge that today is not just another day, it is an opportunity, a responsibility, a blessing. When you wake up with purpose, you don't just react to life, you create it, you set the tone, you establish the energy. Think about the most successful, fulfilled, and impactful people you admire. Do you think they start their day by drifting aimlessly? No. They rise with clarity. They understand that their actions, no matter how small, shape their destiny. They recognize that every morning is a new beginning, a new opportunity to step into alignment with their greater calling. Purpose is not always about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It is found in the small, consistent actions. It is found in the way you speak to yourself when you wake up. It is found in the commitments you make to yourself and keep. It is in the discipline of doing what you said you would do, even when no one is watching. And here's the thing, purpose isn't about knowing every step ahead of you. It's not about having all the answers before you begin. It's about moving forward with faith, even when the past isn't fully visible. Waking up with purpose means trusting that each step you take will reveal the next. It's about aligning your heart, your actions, and your mindset with something greater than yourself. Some people wake up and immediately start thinking about everything that could go wrong. They focus on problems, on obstacles, on reasons why today won't be any different than yesterday. And because that's where their focus goes, that's exactly what they manifest. But those who wake up with purpose see the day differently. They see challenges as stepping stones, not roadblocks. They understand that difficulties are part of the journey, not the end of it. If you want to live a life of meaning, if you want to experience the fullness of what God has in store for you, it starts the moment you wake up. What are you saying to yourself? What are you allowing into your mind before the world influences you? How are you setting the stage for the day ahead? You were not created to simply exist. You were not given today by accident. There is something for you to do, someone for you to impact, a step for you to take. The question is, will you rise to meet the opportunity, or will you let it pass you? Fear is one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It whispers in the back of our minds, planting doubt, hesitation, and insecurity. It tells us that we are not enough, that we don't have what it takes, that failure is inevitable. Fear convinces us to stay small, to remain comfortable, avoid the unknown. But here's the truth. Fear is a liar. Faith, on the other hand, speaks a different language. It thrives in what is unseen. It thrives in what is unknown. Faith is the belief in something greater than yourself, the trust that even when things don't make sense, there is a purpose unfolding. Faith reminds you that you are not alone, that you are guided, and that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth. The battle between faith and fear is constant. Every decision, every step forward, every new challenge presents a choice. Will you operate in fear, or will you move in faith? The two cannot coexist. Fear paralyzes, faith empowers. Fear makes excuses, faith finds solutions. Fear focuses on limitations, faith sees possibilities. Many people live their entire lives shackled by fear. They allow fear to dictate their dreams, their relationships, their opportunities. They hesitate to take risks because fear tells them they might fail. They hold back from using their gifts because fear tells them they might not be good enough. They resist change because fear convinces them that the unknown is dangerous. But faith dares you to believe in something greater. Faith calls you higher. Faith tells you that even if you can't see the full picture, you are still meant to step forward. Think about the moments in your life when fear tried to control you. Maybe it was the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of uncertainty. Now think about the moments when you chose faith instead. Those moments, no matter how small, shaped your future. Every time you chose faith over fear, you grew. You stepped into new opportunities. You unlocked a version of yourself that you wouldn't have discovered otherwise. Fear will always try to convince you to wait for the right time. It will tell you to wait until you feel ready, until you have more resources, until you have more clarity. But faith doesn't wait for the perfect moment. Faith moves, faith acts, faith trusts that even if you take the first step without seeing the whole staircase, the ground will be there when your foot lands. Choosing faith over fear is not about ignoring reality. It's not about pretending that obstacles don't exist. It's about choosing to see beyond them. It's about understanding that fear will always be present, but it doesn't have to be in control. Faith is the decision to move forward despite the fear, to believe that God's plan is bigger than any challenge you face. The world is filled with people who let fear stop them from living fully, but the ones who rise, the ones who make an impact, the ones who experience the fullness of life, those are the ones who choose faith. They feel the fear, but they refuse to let it win. They step out, they take risks, they trust in something greater. Fear may whisper doubts, but faith speaks louder. Fear may try to hold you back, but faith will always push you forward. The question is, which one will you listen to? Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in life. It has the ability to shift perspectives, transform circumstances, and unlock opportunities that once seemed impossible. Yet so many people go through life focusing on what they lack, what isn't working, and what they wish was different. They wake up thinking about problems rather than possibilities. But gratitude changes that. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present, from scarcity to abundance, from frustration to fulfillment. The truth is, the way you see the world determines what you receive from it. When you live with a mindset of lack, constantly thinking about what you don't have, you create resistance. You close yourself off from blessings. But when you cultivate gratitude, you open the doors for more. You create space for blessings to flow into your life. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a mindset, a habit, a way of seeing the world that attracts abundance. Gratitude doesn't mean everything in your life is perfect. It doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending that struggles don't exist. It means choosing to focus on what is good, even in the midst of difficulties. It means recognizing that even in hard times, there is something to be thankful for. Because the more you acknowledge the blessings you already have, the more you position yourself to receive even greater ones. Think about it. When you give something to someone and they receive it with joy, appreciation, and gratitude, doesn't it make you want to give them more? Doesn't it inspire you to pour into them even more? The same principle applies in life. When you are grateful for what you have, more comes your way. Gratitude multiplies blessings. It shifts your energy, your attitude, and your entire approach to life. Too often, people chase after more without appreciating what they already have. They believe that happiness is somewhere in the future, when they get the promotion, when they find the right relationship, when they achieve a certain goal. But the problem with this mindset is that it creates a cycle of never feeling satisfied. If you're not grateful for what you have now, you won't be grateful when you get more. Gratitude isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about seeing the beauty in the present one. The most successful and fulfilled people understand this. They don't just wait for big wins to feel grateful. They practice gratitude daily. They wake up and acknowledge the simple blessings, the ability to breathe, to move, to think, to love, to experience another day. They understand that gratitude isn't about having everything. It's about recognizing the value in what you already have. And because of this, they attract even more opportunities, connections, and moments of joy. Gratitude also changes the way you interact with people. When you appreciate others, you build stronger relationships. When you acknowledge the good in those around you, you create an environment of positivity and encouragement. People want to be around those who make them feel valued. They are drawn to those who recognize their efforts and contributions. Gratitude strengthens teams, families, friendships, and communities. It creates an atmosphere where people feel seen, respected, and inspired to give their best. Beyond that, gratitude shifts your mindset in times of difficulty. Challenges will always be part of life, but how you approach them makes all the difference. When you operate from a place of gratitude, you see setbacks as lessons rather than failures. You find growth in the struggle. You understand that every challenge carries a hidden gift, a lesson, a new perspective, a deeper strength. Gratitude allows you to see that even the toughest moments are shaping you into the person you are meant to become. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing on your mind? Are you immediately thinking about problems, stress, or the things that aren't going right? Or are you taking a moment to acknowledge the gift of another day? The way you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Gratitude is a choice, and it's one you must make daily. Because when you choose gratitude, you unlock a life of abundance, joy, and endless possibilities. True blessings in life are not found in what we take, but in what we give. The world often teaches us that success comes from accumulating more money, more power, more recognition. But real fulfillment doesn't come from selfish gain. It comes from service. It comes from pouring into others, from making a difference, from living beyond ourselves. The greatest blessings in life are not given to us just to keep. They are given so we can share them. Service is not about waiting until you have everything figured out. It's not about giving only when it's convenient or when you feel like you have extra. It's about showing up right where you are with what you have and choosing to be a blessing to someone else. The truth is, you don't have to be wealthy to be generous. You don't have to be powerful to make an impact. You don't have to have it all together to make a difference. What you have right now is enough to serve. Think about the people in your life who have made the biggest impact on you. Were they the wealthiest, the most famous? Or were they the ones who took the time to listen, to support, to show kindness when you needed it most? True influence is not about status. It's about service. The people who make the greatest impact in this world are not the ones who chase after success for themselves, but the ones who lift others along the way. There is a principle in life that cannot be ignored. When you give, you receive. Not always in the way you expect, and not always immediately, but blessings have a way of returning to those who give with a genuine heart. When you serve others, you create a ripple effect. The kindness, generosity, and love you pour out come back in ways you could never predict. Sometimes it's through unexpected opportunities. Sometimes it's through relationships that change your life. And sometimes it's simply through the deep, unshakable fulfillment that comes from knowing you made a difference. Serving is not about recognition. It's not about getting credit or being praised. It's about understanding that we are all connected, that our purpose is tied to the way we impact others. The most fulfilled people are not the ones who live for themselves, but the ones who find joy in lifting others up. They understand that true success is not measured by what they have, but by what they give. The world teaches us to focus on ourselves, to chase our own dreams, to protect what's ours, to look out for our own interests. But the most successful, joyful, and purpose-driven people understand that the real secret to abundance is in giving. The more you give, the more your life expands. The more you serve, the more opportunities come your way. The more you bless others, the more you position yourself to receive blessings in return. Serving does not always mean doing something grand. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness have the biggest impact. A simple word of encouragement, a moment of your time, a willingness to listen. These things can change someone's entire day, sometimes even their entire life. And the best part, serving others doesn't just bless them, it changes you. It shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to the abundance that's already there. It reminds you that life is not just about what you can get, but about what you can give. Many people wait for the perfect moment to serve. They think, once I have more money, then I'll give. Or once I have more time, then I'll help. But service is not something you postpone until everything in your life is perfect. It's something you do now with whatever you have. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you serve, the more your life opens up in ways you never expected. Because when you pour into others, blessings have a way of finding their way back to you. There are moments in life when we feel stuck, when we wonder why things aren't happening as quickly as we want. We pray, we work hard, we do everything we think we're supposed to do, and yet the breakthrough doesn't come. The opportunity doesn't arrive. The dream seems far away. In those moments, it's easy to question, to doubt, to wonder if we've been forgotten. But what if the delay isn't a denial? What if the waiting isn't wasted time? What if everything is happening exactly as it should, on God's time, not ours? One of the greatest struggles in life is learning to trust in timing that we can't control. We live in a world that teaches us to chase, to hurry, to demand instant results. We want answers now. We want success now. We want the dream to become reality without the process of preparation. Every single person on this earth carries something unique, something valuable, something no one else can replicate. Your voice, your story, your gifts, your perspective, they all have purpose. But too often, people shrink back. They dim their light because they fear judgment, rejection, or failure. They hold back their ideas because they wonder if they're good enough. They hesitate to step forward because they think someone else is more qualified. But here's the truth. The world needs what you have. Your light was not given to you to be hidden. It was not meant to stay small. It was meant to shine, and not just when you feel confident, not just when everything is going well, but even when you feel uncertain, even when you feel like you don't have all the answers. Because your light doesn't come from perfection, it comes from authenticity. Now think about a dark room. All it takes is one small light to change everything. One candle, one spark, one flame, and suddenly the darkness is not as overwhelming. Your presence in the world works the same way. You may think that your kindness, your words, your efforts don't make much of a difference, but they do. A single act of encouragement can change someone's life. A single moment of bravery can inspire someone else to step into their own greatness. Your light has the power to ignite others, to give hope, to create a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. But shining your light requires courage. It requires stepping out even when it's uncomfortable. It requires owning your gifts and recognizing that they were given to you for a reason. Too often, people allow self-doubt to rob them of their potential. They compare themselves to others and convince themselves that their contribution isn't enough. But comparison is a thief. It distracts you from what you have to offer. It makes you forget that no one else can be you. There is only one you. And out of all the billions of people who have ever lived, there has never been and will never be another person exactly like you. That is not an accident. That is not random. That is intentional. Your gifts, your strengths, even your struggles, they all play a part in the bigger picture. The lessons you've learned, the challenges you've overcome, the wisdom you've gained, they are meant to be shared. So many people wait for permission to shine. They wait for someone to validate them, to tell them they are worthy, to give them approval. But your light doesn't need permission. It doesn't require outside validation. It is already inside you, waiting to be unleashed. The only thing holding it back is the belief that it must be earned. But you don't have to earn the right to shine. You were born with it. It doesn't matter if the world has tried to dim your light in the past. It doesn't matter if you've been told you're not enough. It doesn't matter if you've faced rejection or criticism. What matters is that you keep shining anyway. Because every time you show up as your true self, every time you share your gifts, every time you choose to bring kindness, encouragement, or hope into the world, you are making a difference. There will always be moments when doubt creeps in. There will always be challenges that make you question your purpose. But those moments are not signs to stop, they are signs to push forward, because the world doesn't need you to be perfect. It doesn't need you to have all the answers. It just needs you to be you, fully, unapologetically. Because your light matters more than you know. Miracles don't just happen by chance. They are not random, nor are they reserved for a select few. Miracles are often the result of movement, of action, of faith put into motion, of bold steps taken even when the path is unclear. Too many people wait for miracles as if they will simply appear out of thin air. They pray, they hope, they dream, but they never take the steps necessary to align themselves with the breakthrough they are seeking. Faith without action is like a car without fuel. It has all the potential to move, but without the energy to propel it forward, it remains stagnant. Action is the catalyst that turns possibility into reality. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The moment you decide to move, to step forward despite uncertainty, to act on what you believe, you create space for miracles to unfold. The mistake many people make is waiting for the perfect moment. They convince themselves that they will take action once they feel ready, once the fear subsides, once they have all the answers. But there is no perfect moment. There is no time when fear completely disappears. The people who see miracles in their lives are not the ones who waited for everything to be just right. They are the ones who moved forward anyway. They took the leap before they saw the net. They acted in faith, and because of that, doors opened, opportunities appeared, and breakthroughs happened. Action doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes the smallest steps create the biggest miracles. A single decision, a small act of kindness, a simple conversation. These can be the very things that shift the course of your life. The power is not just in the size of the action, but in the consistency of it. Miracles often come to those who refuse to stay stuck, who keep showing up, who take one step after another, even when progress feels slow. There are countless stories of people who experienced incredible breakthroughs because they refused to stay where they were. They didn't just sit and wish for change. They acted in alignment with what they were believing for. They knocked on doors. They showed up even when they felt unqualified. They kept moving even when circumstances told them to stop. And because they moved, the path opened. God doesn't call us to a life of passivity. He calls us to be active participants in the miracles He wants to perform in our lives. He calls us to step out in faith, to trust Him enough to act even when we don't have the full picture. The moment you take action, you demonstrate trust, not just in yourself, but in God's ability to guide your steps. Fear will always try to keep you in place. It will whisper that you are not ready, that you might fail, that things might not work out. But faith moves despite fear. Faith understands that action is not about guarantees, it's about trust. It's about knowing that even if you can't control the outcome, you are still responsible for taking the first step. Miracles are often hidden in the process. They are not always instant, and they don't always look the way we expect. Sometimes the miracle is in the strength you gain when you push forward. Sometimes it's in the unexpected opportunities that arise when you take initiative. Sometimes it's in the way your life begins to shift the moment you stop waiting and start moving. The difference between those who see miracles and those who don't is often a single thing: action. Not just belief, not just hope, but movement. Because when you take action in faith, you create the conditions for the extraordinary to happen. You open yourself up to divine possibilities that would have remained unseen if you had stayed where you were. You become a co-creator in the miracles unfolding in your life. Because miracles don't just happen, you step into them.